Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to give you guys an update on, I guess, the legacy server struggle. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, I'm going to give you a quick timeline here, just so you guys can see where we've been, so you can understand where we are right now. Now, a few months ago, a very popular vanilla WoW private server, Nostalrius, was shut down by Blizzard. Nostalrius was located in France. France is in the EU. The EU complies with the US copyright laws, and so the Blizzard was able to send a cease and desist, I believe, over to the people that hosted the server, the Nostalrius server in France, and they were able to get it shut down. Whenever it got shut down, people went fucking berserk. People went apeshit, alright? And it's a good thing, honestly, and I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute here. But not only the people, in like, I guess, like the WoW sphere of influence here, like just like people who play WoW and stream it and make videos about it, but not only them, but also other people who maybe played the game in the past and, they just make videos, and they made a video talking about how they felt about it, and a lot of them actually did play on Nostalrius, and so it not only had them, it also had big streamers talking about it, and it even got like the attention of like Forbes and BBC, I believe. So this was a huge issue, and this was a few months ago, and there was a change.org petition that was created, and the petition basically was to try to give Blizzard, because the goal of the people with the legacy servers, I want to explain this real quick, the goal is to have Blizzard create servers for previous expansions that host content for just that expansion. So imagine kind of like a time capsule of WoW in 2005 or 2007 for Burning Crusade, or 2009 or something like that, or 2010 for Wrath of the Lich King, or even 2008. But the point is that obviously for them to make servers for specific expansions so people can log onto the servers and play that content the way it was back in that time period in the game. So that's what the goal is. And the change.org petition was to indicate that there was a huge demand for these for these legacy servers, and for Blizzard to realize and to hopefully give them the idea that it would actually be profitable for them to create legacy servers. Now, that was a few months ago, as I said, and that petition reached over 200,000 signatures, okay? And honestly, if nothing else, that's a lot of fucking people, okay? And so there were two people, I guess you would say like two different people who interface with Blizzard through this. First one was Mark Kern, and he is a former World of Warcraft developer. He helped develop the original World of Warcraft vanilla WoW, and he's personal friends with Mike Morhaime, who is the CEO of Blizzard. So Mark Kern basically said that he was going to print out. And like I think it's kind of like, in a way, guys, I mean, it's kind of dumb, right? But at the same time, it's like so like you'd think like a guy that developed vanilla WoW with all of like the annoying shit you have to do would think of this. He was gonna print out every single page of the of every single signature of people and wheel it in to Blizzard and give it to Mike Morhaime, all 200,000 signatures, and he did. This actually happened, and I was amazed that it did. So Mark Kern met with Mike Morhaime, and nothing really specifically came out of this. Mike basically said that he did really want to have the legacy servers, but they weren't really sure if they would be financially viable. And then Mark talked with Mike. It's a lot of M's here. They talked about it, and nothing definitive came out of that. So Mark Kern came in and did that for us. And also, I want to say something before I really get into it too much more. I'll say that afterwards. Actually, I will say that afterwards. I don't want to get off topic. This is the second time I've had to record this because the first one was very off topic. So hopefully this one won't be quite as bad. So after that, the second people that interface with Blizzard are the Nostalrius team. Now, the Nostalrius team were the people, they created the vanilla WoW server, and they basically put everything together, and they're responsible for the server. The petition also got the Nostalrius team to be able to talk with Blizzard and have a meeting with Blizzard, and that just happened a few days ago, which is one of the main reasons why I'm making this video. Now, they made the meeting was supposed to be for like 2 hours, and it ended up being 5 hours, so I would assume that if you're going to spend 5 hours in a room with somebody talking about something that you don't really care about, they'd probably say that people seem bored, and they didn't really say that at all. It seemed like, very positive I guess like vibes that came out of this. So the people in the meeting were the Nostalrius team, and also Mike Morhaime again, who is again the CEO of Blizzard. A lot of the Warcraft devs, Ian Hazzikostas, Jay Allen Brack, Tom Chilton, and so a lot of those guys also had the technical guys for WoW, as well as some of the PR and community managers for WoW, just so they could kind of get all of the perspectives in at the same time. So what they really wanted to talk about was, I guess, like the feasibility of the vanilla WoW servers. Now, what the developers said is that they said, if for nothing else than for historical purposes, that I guess like people kind of deserve a version of vanilla WoW, just because it's been such a big cultural icon for the past 10 years, that somewhere it does deserve to exist in some form. So I do believe that in them saying that that legacy servers are not an if, but they're more or less a win. Now, the win is really the big question, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And they did, of course, Blizzard did not give them a definitive yes or a definitive no about the legacy servers, but that's better than before when it was just a definitive no. So, what they really said is that they want to have them, and if it was possible for them to have them right now, because they do actually have the code for vanilla WoW. They said before they didn't. Everybody knew that was bullshit, and turns out that it is. So they do still have the code for vanilla WoW, but they would have to create entirely new servers for vanilla WoW, and there's a lot of work that kind of goes into this on the technical side, and they don't really know if they'd be able to recoup the money that they would have to spend making these servers a reality with selling the actual game. Mark Curran suggested a collector's edition of World of Warcraft that would include, that would be like kind of like a repackaged game that people could buy to help kind of offset the cost of creating the legacy servers. I don't really know if that's a good idea. Well, actually, I do think it's a good idea. I don't know how much it would really help, though. So they talked to them about that, and basically what came out of it is that there are a lot of technical limitations, and they're not really sure if it's going to be possible and profitable, because Blizzard is, of course, they're not like a charity. They are a company, and so they do kind of have to make money off of this. So obviously I think everybody really kind of wanted to hear that, oh, Blizzard's going to add legacy servers next month or something like that, but that's not what's going to happen. I think that what's really going to happen here is that Blizzard is probably going to say something about it at BlizzCon, and I don't know what that something is going to be, but I think that we're not going to get any real definitive information about legacy servers until BlizzCon. And I think that's going to be because like Legion comes out in August 30th, so that's in a few months now. A couple months, actually. That's pretty much a few months. Anyway, it comes out in 2 to 3 months, and I think they're going to just wait to see how Legion goes, and, how many people stick with the game, and if the, because I think a lot of the demand for these legacy servers is kind of derived from the fact that Warlords of Draenor really wasn't able to hold people's attention. But if Warlords of Draenor was able to hold people's attention, I do think that there would be a lot less demand for legacy servers, but I do think that there still would be a demand regardless. And so if the demand goes down a lot with Legion, I don't really know if they're going to add them or not, but if people still really, really want them whenever Legion comes out, I do think that it's a very strong possibility that we could hear something legitimate and definitive about legacy servers at BlizzCon. Is that wishful thinking? Well, it is in a way. I do really hope that that's what happens, but I also think that's what will happen. So we're going to have to see. Personally, so I'm going to tell you guys kind of the way that I feel. That's pretty much the end of the news, guys, but I'm going to tell you guys how I feel. Initially, whenever the Nostalrius server came out, I thought about playing on it. I never did, because I thought my character would get deleted, and I didn't know, I didn't want to put all that effort into something that I couldn't that would just that was it was potentially going to get deleted. So I thought about it a lot, and then whenever the server got shut down, I was like, man, who really cares? I didn't really give a shit about it, honestly. I made a video about it. I cared, but I didn't really care. Right, but the more I've thought about it, and the more I've kind of just thought about how much different the game was then, it's at a certain point, I just kind of want to go back, and it's made me want the legacy servers a lot more. The more I've thought about it, the more things that happen with Legion, even the good things, and that's kind of the weird thing with it with me is that even the really great things like World Quest and everything like that with Legion, I think they're really cool. but there's a certain part of me that I just want to kind of go back and play the old game, and I think there are a lot of people who really feel the same way. And I don't really know what it is. I do, actually. I could spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours talking about it. But ultimately, I think that it's, the game's just so much different now that I don't think I'm ever really going to get that same feeling that I did in Burning Crusade or in Vanilla. But playing it again would be the closest thing I could get to it. And I don't know. I think that the game is just so complex now, and there's so much stuff in it that the only real way that they could ever go back to what it was before would be to completely remake the game. And I think a lot of people feel that way, and I don't really know what to say about it. But I do really hope they add legacy servers. Warcraft has been a really big part of my life for close to 10 years, something like that, and so. I have a vested interest in this, and I would love to go back and play Vanilla WoW and play maybe even Burning Crusade, but especially Vanilla WoW. I just love to just go back and be part of that again. And no matter how good the next expansion is or the expansion after that, it's never going to give me that same feeling again. And it's just something special about the game then that I don't think that can ever be recaptured at this point with the current game. And so I do really hope that they do add legacy servers, and I do think it probably will be profitable for them. But what do I know? I don't know one way or another. But that's the way that I feel. The more I've thought about it, the more time is going on, the more I've realized that you can't go back. You can't go back. At this point, it's past the point of no return, and I just like to see the game, at least the possibility to be able to see the game as it used to be. So anyway, guys, that's the new information about legacy servers. I probably won't talk about it too much unless there's a lot of really big news between now and BlizzCon. So this will probably be my last video talking about it, unless it's tangentially with something else. But that's really how I feel. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll give you guys a link in the description to the Nostalrius post on their website with the full information about the meeting, and so you guys can check that out yourselves and know exactly what was said. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.